All right, top 10 Jets running backs. All right, let's get into it. Number 10, Johnny Hector out of Texas A&M. One of the best goal line and short yardage backs in Jets history. Led the NFL with 11 touchdowns in 1987. In the 80s, they called the backfield the two-headed monster, Johnny Hector and Freeman McNeil. Johnny Hector is the thunder to Freeman McNeil's lightning. Played for the Jets for 10 years. All right, number 9, Sean Green. I remember this guy. I was going to put Sean Green higher on the list because he had 2 stab-you-in-the-heart runs in the playoffs, back-to-back games, 2009, a 41-yarder versus Cincinnati in the wild card, a 53-yarder versus San Diego in the divisional round, touchdown runs in the fourth quarter to seal the win. And I think people forget he had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. 2011, pretty good, 4.2 yards a carry. Sean Green, top 10. No arguments here. All right, number 8, Adrian Morrell. If you're from the 90s, you might remember this name. I had him at 9 and Green at 8. I had to flip-flop him because Morrell was a better running back. The one thing Sean Green has on him is playoff success because Morrell played on some really bad football teams. He got fed. He was the only thing they had. No passing game. Head coach was a mess. He parlayed this into a free agent deal with Arizona. Got some money. Number 7, Bill Mathis. Real salt-of-the-earth guy. Played his entire career in the AFL. Started as a halfback the first few years. Was productive. And then morphed into a fullback, which is really what he's known for. There from the very beginning. One of the franchise pillars. Bill Mathis, Super Bowl champion. Deserves to be on this list. Number 7 is a good spot for him. It's going to get interesting here. 4, 5, and 6. Kept shuffling around. This is what I landed on. We're going 6, John Riggins. Pro Football Hall of Fame. Look how big dude was. 6'2", 230. Violent downhill runner. Taken 6 overall in 1971. He's supposed to be the next great Jet back. Poor offensive lines. Declining roster. Really didn't let him live out his full potential. But there were flashes of greatness. In 1975, he finally breaks out. He was the first Jet back to rush for 1,000 yards. Goes on to play a decade with the Redskins. Super Bowl hero. Hall of Fame. John Riggins started with the Jets. All right, number 5, Thomas Jones. This dude had the biggest biceps in the world. He, like Riggins, a blue chip, picked 7th pick in the draft by Tampa, I believe. Or no, I think it was Arizona. One thing about Thomas Jones is he had elite vision. He could just see it. And he had some real bounce and wiggle to him. 2008, one of the best seasons ever by a Jet running back. Top 3 season. Carried the Jets through that roller coaster Favre season. Look at his 3 years in New York here. Look at this. 1,100, 1,300, 1,400, 13 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns. Good average. Legitimately elite at 30 years old. One of the best stretches, if not the best 3-year stretch of running the ball for the Jets. Number 4, we got Emerson Boozer. Now, I had Jones here and Boozer 5th, but when I looked into Boozer, I was like, nah, man, this guy's got to be 4th. Look here, in 8 games, he led the league with 10 rushing touchdowns. This is in the AFL. He's a league in touchdowns, and that summer tears his knee up. Gruesome injury is never the same. Goes from being an explosive player averaging 4.7 yards a carry to someone who has to reinvent himself and transforms himself into one of the best blocking backs in Jets history. And the Jets have had some good fullbacks. Brad Baxter, Tony Richardson, Soul. Boozer may be the best one. Played a decade with the Jets, won a ring. He's one of the most respected Jets ever. For that reason, I put him ahead of Thomas Jones because Thomas Jones did ball out. I'm not crazy. I got eyes. I see that. But I just think Emerson Boozer, he was the heartbeat of that Super Bowl team. He deserves the recognition. Number 4. Speaking of the Super Bowl team, it's going to be Matt Snell, running the ball in the late 60s, early 70s. Look at how big he was. 6'2", 220, coming right downhill at you. Yeah, the Jets, man, they love that deep ball, but the way they set it up was by handing it to this big guy 30 times a game. Was the first Jets bell cow. He had great hands, could catch the ball at the backfield, could pound it inside, could take it outside. So he was a big dude, but he was a complete back. Super Bowl 3. Joe Namath was the MVP. Matt Snell should have been the MVP. 30 carries, 121 yards, and a tutty. He should have been the MVP of the game. They were in complete control the whole time. Really hit the Colts in the mouth. So he will be immortalized by that performance. Playoff prowess puts him at 3 for me. It's kind of like a Manny Fernandez, the way he balled out in that Super Bowl. Number 2, Freeman McNeil. Now, this guy was electric. Taken with the 3rd pick in the draft. The whole decade of the 80s, he was the man for the Jets. This dude could scoot. Look at him, 82 strike shortened season, but he's balling out. He leads the league in rushing yards, yards attempt, first team All-Pro. Goes on to make 2 more Pro Bowls. 84, 85, especially 1985 here. 1,300 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, 95 yards a game. Yeah, dude was balling. All right, number 1. I think we all know who number 1 is going to be, and that's going to be Curtis Martin. Soft-spoken, not flashy, just came to work every day and had 1,000 yards every year, basically. Look at this shit. 7,000-yard seasons in a row, boom. Came over from the Patriots, brought by Bill Parcells. Parcells was like, nah, you're coming with me, bro. He knew what he was doing. This is Hall of Fame stuff. This is a Hall of Fame resume. 2004, the crown jewel of his career. At 31 years old, has his best season. Leads the league in attempts. Leads the league in rushing yards. First team All-Pro. Almost wins Offensive Player of the Year. That was the bow on a Hall of Fame career. Retired the 4th all-time leading rusher. And he's the best running back for the Jets. Eventually, once I've gone through other teams, I'm going to rank just the running backs overall for every team. Just off the top of my head, I think Curtis Martin might be in the top 10. He might be at like 7 or 8 because there's going to be a handful of people that are just automatically in front of him. But I think Curtis Martin is a top 10 running back of all time. Maybe number 10, number 9 or 10. Anyway, let me know down below. Am I crazy? I don't think so. Le'Veon Bell was supposed to call me back. He didn't. So yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Brad Baxter is my dude, man.